Schools Rugby coverage, sponsored by.
This is the new frontier in banking, where limits are a thing of the past. NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
Start your overseas higher education with Educo Pathways. For more information, call 0772 711 711.
Welcome to Quadrangle for our this week's roundup. St. Joseph's College travelled uphill to compete against Trinity College Kandy. Both teams were unbeaten and they were competing to cling on to that unbeaten title. With Loshika Vijay Korn being given the skipper's duties, Trinitians started off a bit clumsy that costed them a lot. St. Joseph's College managed to turn over an important line out which was right in front of the Trinitians' try line. Navin Marasinghe took advantage of that and managed to snatch down a successful try. The kicker added 3 more points and the Josephians started filling up the scoreboard 7-0. Moments later, St. Joseph's College managed to convert a penalty and add 3 more points to their scoreboard. The left leg kicker Koida Vikramasinghe started scoring for Trinity by converting a penalty successfully. Subhash received a long cutout pass and he took advantage of that and he managed to score another successful try. And the kicker managed to add 3 more points to that try. The big man Ashen Vijay Sooriya managed to score the first try for Trinity College, but Koida Vikramasinghe missed the crucial extras. By the end of the first half, the score was 17-8. When the second half started, both the teams struggled for 20 minutes. They couldn't score any tries for the first 20 minutes. St. Joseph's College was awarded a penalty and they successfully converted it. Anwas Kodituaku, who went through the St. Joseph defense, managed to score another try. And Koida Vikramasinghe managed to convert it successfully. By the end of the game, the score was 20-15 and St. Joseph's College remained unbeaten.
So we have the captain of St. Joe's College here with us, Tehran Karnataka. So Tehran, tell me, what does it feel like coming to Pallekele all the way from Colombo to beat Trinity College here today?
Yeah, so coming from Colombo, we thought the climate is going to change. Obviously, it's different in Colombo. It's like warm and heaty. In Kandy, it's like a bit gloomy, and we had to get to use the wind and everything. So we came 2 days before the match,
right,
and we did few practices, and we got used to the climate.
So you are the captain of an undefeated team.
Yeah.
How does it feel? How does it feel to lead your team to victory today?
Yeah, so I think past few years we lost few matches, and beating Trinity College is a really huge achievement for us. We played really hard, I'd say, and we did all our practices, and during lockdown sessions we did Zoom, and I guess, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We have the head coach of Trinity College Kandy here with us, Kavinda Jayasena. So what do you think about today's play? What do you think about how Trinity played today? Can you give me the pros and cons of the team's gameplay?
Yeah. First of all, it's always sad to stand on the losing part of it. But I mean, that's part and parcel of the game. When you take rugby, you have a winner, you have a loser. That's part. Overall, when you think about the game, considering, I mean, Trinity of course had the percentage of the game, the ball play, everything. 80% of the ball was with us, Trinity. But unfortunately, our players did a couple of mistakes where we couldn't end up as tries or conversions or the penalties.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing that the Trinity stands on the losing point. But St. Joseph's played well. They had their plan and it worked out very well. Overall, it was a very good game of rugby, and I mean, couple of homework to do before our next game. So practices continues from Monday again, back to normal routine, and we look forward to the next game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We have a past ruggerite of Trinity College Kandy here with us, Tharinda Ratwatte. So you have first-hand experience on the field playing rugby. You were a team player. So can you tell me about Trinity's play today? Like, how do you feel personally? What do you feel about today? How Trinity played?
I think the boys played relatively well. I mean, compared to last week against Royal, I think they have a little bit of work to do. We couldn't keep possession for some reason. I don't know why we kept losing the ball. But I think if we manage to fix those little mistakes, we'll be better next week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Quadrangle Schools Rugby Coverage, sponsored by
හඳුන්වා දෙන NDBZ Digital Youth Account NDB බැංකුව.
And our other featured match on Saturday was at Nithawala, where Vidyartha took on their hometown rivals Dharmaraja. After a thumping win over the Petrites in their previous encounter, Vidyartha stepped into this game as hot favourites, and boy, they did live up to the tag. In the opening 15 minutes of the match, both teams made plenty of handling errors, but with time they corrected their mistakes and they brought up their A game, and Vidyartha got the first opportunity to move the scoreboard through a penalty. But to everyone's surprise, the Vidyartha place kicker Menuka Tilakaratne missed a regulation kick. But luckily, soon after the miss, Vidyartha were able to creep into the territory of Dharmaraja, and they were able to score their first try of the match through their prop forward Kavishka Vijayaratne, which was followed by a well-taken conversion. That was all in terms of scoring in the first half, as Vidyartha went into lemons with a lead of 7-0. The majority of the second half saw the Rajans have possession and they tested the Vidyartha defence, but Vidyartha were able to hold on for a while until the 20th minute from the start of the second half, where Dharmaraja scored their first try. But unfortunately for the Rajans, they were not able to convert it and the scoreline moved up to 7-5. However, the Tigers were quick enough to react and they went on to score their second try through their second row Nipun Veerasinghe, and Tilakaratne did the rest to claim the extra 2 points through the conversion, and the score tally moved up to 14-5. Desperate for points, Rajans were lucky enough to get a penalty, and this time their captain Souriya Vijayasiri was able to kick it through and the scoreline moved to 14-8. However, soon after, the Tigers were awarded a penalty and Tilakaratne successfully sent it through the goal post to seal the game for Vidyartha with a scoreline of 17-8.
Quadrangle Schools Rugby Coverage, sponsored by
Start your overseas higher education with Educo Pathways. For more information, call 0772 711 711.
In our last game of the week, St. Anthony's College team rolled through the Kingswoodians to register their first win of the season with a large margin of 57-7. The Eagles started the proceedings with an early try within the first 5 minutes of the match, and from there onwards there was no looking back as they went on to score 4 tries in the first half. The Kingswoodians looked helpless as they could not have enough possession in the first half and their defence was exposed to a stronger Antonian lineup. And St. Anthony's College went into the first half with a lead of 24-0.
The Antonians started off the second half by scoring an early try. Few minutes later, the Kingswoodians managed to penetrate through the defence of St. Anthony's College and managed to score their first try and convert it successfully. And also, the Kingswoodians were given a penalty, but they couldn't convert it successfully. The Antonians scored 5 tries in the second half.
The pick of the players for the Antonians was Sahan Kirtisiri, their fly half, who was able to score 2 tries and he controlled the game like a pro. Because of him, the Antonians were able to keep plenty of more tries. And also not to forget Tiron, the wing of St. Anthony's College, who kept 3 tries, and Jude, the hooker of the St. Anthony's College team, who was able to control the game in quite a good way. And not to forget, this is the largest win of this season by any team. The previous best was 52-0 by Royal, and now St. Anthony's College have scored 57-7 against Kingswood.
And that's it for today's roundup. Stay tuned with Quadrangle.
Quadrangle Schools Rugby Coverage, sponsored by
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. Introducing the Digital Youth Account NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
Start your overseas higher education with Educo Pathways. For more information, call 0772 711 711.